Hi, this is going to be part 3, starting on page 232, and what we are going to learn is how to control float properties. More importantly, we are going to learn how it is possible to create more than one class on a particular HTML tag, which I have never done before until this version of Dreamweaver. I think you will find it quite interesting. First, though, let's talk about our actual web page and here and what we are looking at. So make sure you have the food page open. Make sure you have CSS Designer open. Make sure that you are on Style CSS before you start. The first thing I want to address are the different image sizes. If you take a close look at Classic American Fare and then take a close look at Wood-Fired Pizza, you will see that the images are not the same size. One of the things you can do, as long as the images are close to being the same size, is you can write a CSS rule that will indeed make all the images the same size. One thing I urge you never to do, though, is to take a very large image, and I will give you an example. Let's say we have an image that's 1,000 pixels by 500 pixels, and you bring that in to web design, and then your web design document, and then what you do is inside the document is you make the picture look smaller. Unfortunately, when you do something like that, your original image is still 1,000 by 500 pixels, and that is what is going to have to upload before your client or your person visiting the website actually sees the picture. So if you have a lot of large pictures, the very first thing that you should always do is take them into a program like Photoshop and take them all down to the same size before bringing them into your photos file of the pictures that you're going to put on the web page. So never, never, never use a very large picture in an actual web page itself. Due to the fact that these are very, very small adjustments, though, we can actually write a class rule and make them all the same size, and that is going to be our next step. What we are going to do now is go over to selectors and create a new rule. Now this is going to be a class rule, and it's going to be done on the actual image tag itself. So we need to create a class name. Again, when we create a class name, it always starts with a period. Then we're going to tie it to the image. We're going to make it 150 pixels, and that's what, whoops, I have it in caps. Hold on. Don't want it in caps. So image 150 pixels, and hit enter, all lowercase, and that's the name of our image rule. Then what we are going to do is we are going to go down to properties, and you're going to want to be in the layout category, and for width you're going to double click and do 150 pixels and tab, and then you're going to do height 150 pixels and tab. Then we're going to go down to the margin area, and on the left hand side we are going to set 0 pixels, and on the right hand side we want to give it a little bit of room, so we are going to do 10 pixels and hit tab. Last but not least, we want to put a float on it, so we are going to go down to the float area and create a left float. Once we have created the rule, which we are now finished with that rule, we are going to go back over to live view of our food document. And in the properties panel, well, first thing we want to do is select the image under the American Fare. And down at the bottom in the properties panel under class, you will see that it says to column. What we're going to do is open that box, find our new rule that we wrote, and click it, and it will automatically change our very first one into the left float with our image at 150 pixels. You will notice that what I had discussed in the 2 pages prior to starting the actual videos of this class, that the float is indeed attached to the left side of the container, and then everything else text-wise was placed to the right. Now, we need to do this to the other ones, and there's a very easy way to do it. What we're going to do is we are going to go up to Find, and in the Find drop-down box, we are going to choose Find and Replace in Files. Now, I know you can't see the Find and Replace dialog box, but you want to first click on the Advanced tab. Right below it, you will find an area that says Find In. You want that to say Current Document. And to the right of that is a big long box, and you want to type in Image, IMG, for the image tag. You may find a second row with a plus and a minus sign. Click the minus sign because we don't need anything in that second row. On the third row, you are going to see Action, and you want to set attribute. Then after that, you are going to type in the box to the right of that, you are going to type Class. And in the far right of that, in the third box, you are going to click on the drop-down box and choose Image, 150 pixel, our new rule. Okay, so what we've got is under Advanced, we have Current Document with Image. We have Action that says Set Attribute, Class, and the name of our class, which is 150 pixels PX. And at the very, very bottom, you are going to see that I have an option of 3 different options, and the one that I want to select is Replace All. What it's going to do is it's going to say replacement errors. Don't worry about that. All you are going to do is click OK. And you will notice what has now happened is it has opened up a new Find and Replace dialog box at the bottom of your screen above Properties. And what you should see is all 6 of them are now with the new class rule, and you will see everything has changed in live view. Now, one thing else I want to you to notice while we have this box open down below, something that I did not catch until this box was open, is I wanted you to take a look at what it's showing for alt tag, which is absolutely nothing on all 6 of these pictures. So before you go any further, what I want you to do is first, let's go ahead and close out this box because we are finished with it. We don't need it anymore. So let's close the tab group by opening the hamburger on the top right hand corner of that box. And what I want you to do is select each one of these pictures and put in down in Properties the correct alt tag. You can use the title from each one of these. For instance, this one is Classic American Fare, so I will click on it, go down to alt tag, and just type in Classic American Fare and hit tab. But I want you to go through all 6 of those pictures and put the alt tag on the pictures like they should have been put on to begin with, okay? Once you have finished putting the alt tags on all the pictures, review everything to make sure you've got it done, then go up and choose File, Save All, and we will continue to the next lesson.